Hello, welcome back to another video where we talk about selling options and using selling options to create another income stream. I lost my voice yesterday, hopefully you can hear me okay. Also, hopefully you're having a good weekend. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any videos in the future that you might be interested in. And also, if I can ask you to like this video, that would mean the world to me. That way it reaches more people. I'm trying to get this finally monetized because I've been making videos on here for quite some time, making absolutely nothing from it. So I'm just trying to get my watch hours up. Anyway, the portfolio is at $210,000 to end the week. Some of my biggest positions, Sofi, and I have a little bit in Hims, took a big hit. More so Hims on Friday, but they took a big hit this week. And I've been loving selling options on Hims because I think it's a really good company, and I also get some really good premiums from selling options, especially puts on Hims stock. For instance, if we wanted to sell a put for next week after the big dip, and we'll go into why it dipped here in a second, but I can sell a $48 strike put, and I'm saying, hey, I'm willing to purchase 100 shares at $48 if it goes below this price by this coming Friday. And because I'm willing to take that risk of buying 100 shares if Hims were to drop even farther, I'm getting paid by the buyer of this put $102. If I do this multiple times, that could be hundreds of dollars a week just selling options on Hims alone. And you can see I have one at a lot higher strike price. I actually have one that I sold previously that's expiring this Friday at $53, way higher than the one we showed at $48. And this one has a delta of about a 0.5. So there's a 50-50 chance this expires in the money. Meaning if it does, I have to purchase 100 shares because the price of Hims is below $53 by Friday. Now I saw different news why Hims has been down. One of the reasons I saw was the CEO left. But then I also read that they just transitioned to a different role. So I don't know why it would make that much of a difference. I also saw there was going to be some more competition for some weight loss drugs. And then I also saw that there was some insider selling. So I don't know if all of these things are true and that just culminated to the fact that it dropped 9% on Friday. It got a little bit up in the after hours, but all of these things seem to have an effect on the stock. As for how much I made selling options last week, I went ahead and downloaded my statement on Robinhood that spans all of last week. I can upload it on my web app on selloptions.net. If you sell options on Robinhood, you can do the same. And we're just going to upload it, and it instantly tells me how much I made from selling options and how much per ticker symbol as well. We can see last week I made a little over $1,500, 75 different trades. I would have made more, but previously I sold a lot of $17 call options on Sofi. This was before it took off and went all the way to $30. And so mathematically in my head, it doesn't make sense to hold all of these and wait for these to expire and then sell 100 shares at $17 a piece because these expire next January. So last week I actually bought to close one of these calls that I sold. It's this line right here. You can see I paid a little over $1,000 to buy to close one of those call options. And then after doing so, Sofi continues to dip. So I think I'm going to slowly just see what Sofi does. And if it continues to dip, look at purchasing back these call option shorts at a loss. But honestly, the difference between paying this and letting me wait for these to expire likely in the money come expiration just isn't really worth it to hold up those shares. So even after buying to close this for a little over $1,000, I still made total $1,500 for the week, which I think is pretty good. And lastly, some of the money that I make from selling options, I've talked about this in videos, but I've been investing into some high income ETFs that are just passively paying me monthly distributions when the fund managers sell call options on the underlying asset. So the SPY ETF is making money from selling covered calls on the S&P 500. And they pay about 1% a month. And then as you can see, I also have some BTCI and QQQI. And Robinhood isn't the only portfolio that I've been acquiring shares of these different ETFs. And I went ahead and I added up, I have 3 different portfolios on different brokerages, and I went ahead and I added up all of the different share counts for each one of these ETFs to give me totals, and then I asked ChatGPT to predict based on the last month's distribution, how much I can expect to make in monthly dividend income. And it said with all of the shares that I own, we're up to $568 a month holding shares of this ETF. So I think that's great. Is it as much as I could make on my own selling options? If I did both puts and calls, a strategy that I do with other stocks, probably not, but this is pure passive. It's something I put money into. There's little NAV erosion to no NAV erosion. Actually, there's appreciation, which is great. And I don't have to do anything. All I do is collect those distributions. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this little recap of the week, and I hope to see you in a future video.